Across Africa, a quiet revolution is happening, a digital one. From fintech in Nigeria to health tech in Kenya, and now edtech and smart mobility right here in Lusaka, Zambia. Young innovators are rewriting the narrative of the continent. Zambia is no longer just catching up. It's keeping old systems and embracing bold tech-driven solutions that meet real local needs. And today, we'll bring you one such innovation, a rising Zambian built app that's putting the power of connection into the hands of everyday people. This app isn't just about moving from place to place. It's about opening doors to education, travel, and the opportunity at the top of your screen.
My name is Princess Julika.
And you're watching The Stones, where we spotlight the innovators shaping a smarter, bolder Africa. Let's go meet the visionary behind the app that's changing the game.
Greetings, my name is Handsen Mumba. I was born and raised in Chipata. I completed my senior secondary school in 2018 at Gonda Day Secondary School. It was quite difficult for me to find universities and scholarships the time I completed my school, but I thank God that I had a privilege of winning the Indian government scholarship to study my Bachelor of Science in Microbiology in India. I would like also to mention to say I hold a first class distinction in microbiology, that is 85.40%. I started up the Handsen Consultancy, which connects students for abroad studies to different universities, connecting them to different scholarships and the like. And being someone that is not just inclined towards limiting myself on just one thing, I came up with this concept of developing the Let's Go app, which is simplifying a number of problems of people. We talk about university application, both local and on an international scale. Then aside from that, talking about the bus ticketing system, they can be able to book their buses where they are going. And then on accommodation issue, the system that we integrated with my team is where people can book rooms at the comfort of their homes using the same app. They can be able to select their rooms and do their payments via mobile money or Visa card. And I believe that building the lives of people is the most important thing for me.
First of all, how did you find yourself in India?
Okay, so that was in 2018 when I completed my senior secondary. Things were quite difficult. I actually graduated as a best student from Chipata, like Gonda Day Secondary School.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So it was quite difficult for me to find opportunities because I was looking for jobs, trying to navigate to make myself busy. But I was working in the field, and someone with good results, you have got distinctions, but you can't find something proper. So I started navigating a number of opportunities, apply for scholarships here and there. I was scammed by a number of people, but I never just gave up. I was like, this is going to work for me. I remember telling my friends to say, I'm going abroad. And people were thinking like, it's a joke. Huh? I used to tell them. And the funny thing is, they also gave me money at home, the application fee to apply at CBU and apply at UNZA. But I ended up eating the money. Because I was telling them to say, I am going to study abroad. I am going to study abroad. I think what helped me a lot is the mindset that I had built up to say, I am going there. And it happened that I received a message. I remember the time I was in a stationery. I received a call. They called me from India. They told me that, no, we have given you a scholarship. It's a full scholarship. You need
100%.
to 100%, like everything cutted. So they told me to say, you need to confirm in like 20 minutes. Then I was like, hey. So I rushed home and then I checked everything. And then that's when I made the confirmation. They gave me the scholarship. Everything was done. They even gave me a flight ticket. I couldn't believe that my dream just came true like that.
So
basically,
they paid for everything?
Yes.
Accommodation, transport?
Yes.
Nice.
They paid everything for that. So I was under the Indian government scholarship.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did you pick that particular course to study?
The program that I studied?
Yes.
Okay. It's a sciencey program. So I wanted to become a medical doctor, honestly. By the time I finished, being encouraged with results, even the external force, I wanted to become a medical doctor. But the opportunity that I got was to study microbiology that side, and looking at it that they're going to sponsor everything for me, and looking at it that it's in the medical field. It's medical related program. So I just went to that side, looking at it that I'm going to upgrade at the end of the day. But yeah, it happened that I started discovering myself while I was there. I started seeing things in a different way, to say it's not just about medicine. Okay, it's not just me about doing medical stuff, but I can still step out and be able to do a number of programs. Yes, that's when I came to discover, to say a scientist isn't supposed to be inclined in a specific area, but a scientist should be able to see from different lenses.
I think someone out there is wondering, when I see someone study a course like yours, a program like yours, the first thing that will come to mind is obviously he's looking to work in the hospital and be wearing that cool lab coat.
Yes.
But then, so help me understand, how are you in this field? How did you get into technology?
To start with, microbiology is a science program. So that means I'm a scientist, right? So I define a scientist not one that is just inclined to a single field, but a scientist should be one that is able to connect different subjects of concern in sorting out problems of people. To be honest with you, I didn't do any programming. Then the question that comes in is that how are you an advanced scientist if you're unable to see problems of people and you're unable to connect to technology? Because if you look at in Zambia, technology is not that much advanced. Okay, technology is not that much advanced. That means a lot of people have got problems and they can be sorted out by technology. So for me, I feel like it's not just for me to just be in a lab coat, but it's for me to be able to identify problems of people. So there are problems that I identified, and I looked at it to say these problems can be easily sorted out by technology. So I define as a scientist to say any problem that I see outside there, it's more like a letter that is inviting me to provide solutions. Because as a scientist, you need to be there to provide solutions to people. That makes a good scientist, not just for me to be in a lab coat and the like. No. It's not about just doing the same things each and every day, but it's about what are the problems that you're able to solve.
Yeah. So where were you when the idea to start up this app? Where were you then? Were you back in Zambia or were you still in school?
I was still in India, honestly. I had that idea, but I kept that idea with me.
Okay.
You see, because it was quite a challenge, with regards to finances, different factors, I can say. So the time I came back to Zambia, I think my eyes were clear, so much clear enough that I would see to say, these problems that people are facing, I can actually come up with solutions that that can come in and be able to cover up the gaps.
How long did it take you to actually actualize the idea?
Started with a consultancy first. The time I was in India, trying to pull a number of students and the like. But I came back to Zambia, that was in 2022. I came back to Zambia in 2022, then 2023, I went back that side in India to graduate, and then I came back. So basically, I started working on this idea that was last year, that was 2024, somewhere around November, December. That's when I started working on the app. Yeah,
so
building a team and
when
trying
you
to...
graduated, right?
Yes.
Did you work for any institutions?
Not really.
Okay.
I started working for myself. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you came back, the first thing you went straight into was focusing on the consultancy?
Yes, focusing on the consultancy, yes.
Why
Yes.
did you choose to work for yourself and not enter into formal employment?
I'm not saying that formal employment is bad, but for me, I take, I get to realize to say purpose is very important. Working on ideas is very important. Because you look at it to say everything that is built in this world, it's built out of ideas. Even the chair that you're seated on, it was built because someone had an idea.
Yeah.
Everything that we're wearing is because someone had an idea. Even God himself, for you and me to be able to see each other, is because God had an idea.
Yes.
So for me, it's not like I never wanted to work for people, you get. It's just that I wanted to work on my ideas to build something that it can impact a number of people.
I remember when I went to school, I was at Chipembe Girls.
Okay.
And then we had, in grade 12, we had what was known as Careers Day.
Okay.
And I remember I dressed as a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were given an opportunity to go on stage and then present yourself and why you wanted to become what we wanted to become. So I remember when I went on stage, everyone was like, and I remember the teachers were very disappointed in me. They're like, so your parents are paying all this money just for you to become a DJ?
A DJ, yeah.
A whole loss. And then
I'm
thinking about the kind of situation that you're in. You go to India, you start that particular program, and then you come to Zambia, and then you share your idea to say, this is what I want to do. I don't even want to get into formal employment. I want to actualize my ideas.
Yes.
How was the reaction from family and friends?
Okay. Okay, it was quite difficult to impress them. You know, one thing I've tried to realize is that family, they put emotions first mostly. Yeah, because sometimes they speak out of experience and they speak out of maybe the things that they have passed through, I can say.
Yeah.
So they have those insecurities to say, what if it doesn't make it? How is it going to be at the end of the day? And especially parents, they get too emotional because they want to make sure that their children, they do well at the end of the day. They don't fail. Because they also don't look at it from your standpoint, but also they look at it on the community. You say, what are people going to say? So it was quite of a challenge for me to impress them. But one key thing that I believe in is wisdom, how you communicate. So I communicated clearly to say, okay, I understand the way you feel. Like, I know to say you want me to do this thing. But in as much as I'm also trying to do it, can you please give me a chance to work on my idea, to work on the thing that I want to do at the end of the day? Because purpose is very important. That's why there's a difference between work and a job, you see. So I communicated well with my parents. At first, they were not with the idea, you know, like there were those misunderstandings here and there. But I believe by now, they are quite confident to say, my child, he knows where he's going.
He's going somewhere.
Yes, he's going somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us more about this app that you built.
Okay.
What does it do?
Okay. So this project is huge, but right now I can tell you maybe with regards to the features that we implemented. So number one.
What is the app about?
Okay, yeah. So students are able to apply for universities, both local and international universities, because I've been helping a number of students in terms of abroad studies, but we also want to promote our local universities. Okay, there are a lot of students, sometimes they lack in terms of funding. So this application comes in terms of sorting out the problems in that area, where students can be able to apply for universities locally, the institutions. So our main target is to make sure that we have our local universities on the app, where they can apply and then get their admission letters on time and funding from different bodies. So we want to make sure that we partner with different funding bodies that can be able to assist a number of people. So aside from that, okay, we have the bus ticketing system, like I said. So people are able to book buses using our app. They are able to see, number one, the bus operator, the bus driver, because I'm quite sure, even you, maybe have ever used any bus. You don't even know maybe sometimes the bus driver's name and the like.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that people are having such kind of information. So they are able to book a bus within the country. They are able to select their seats. They are able to pay using mobile money, Visa card. Very simple. And then they are able to have a digital ticket. Okay, at the comfort of their homes, so that as they are going to intercity or maybe they are going to these bus stations, they already have the tickets with them. Then the other thing is on the lodges and hotels, they are able to book rooms at the comfort of their homes. So this is actually going to help even in terms of foreigners, people that are outside, the tourists that maybe want to visit Zambia. They don't know like where to start from in terms of accommodation. So this is going to simplify lives of people in terms of having everything digital. They book, they already know where they're going to stay and the like. But there are other features that we're working on, of which I believe that with time you'll be able to see them. Sure.
So for now we have those three focus areas.
Yes.
Okay, so let's break down each one of them.
Okay.
Let's start with universities and colleges.
Yeah.
If I, as a prospect student, I'm looking for a university,
Okay.
What guarantee do I have that the universities I'm going to find on your app are legit?
Okay, so first of all, being a CEO for the company, for me, I don't make partnerships minus making sure that I screen the university. I make sure that they're having all the documentations. It might be a small university or just a small institution, but I make sure that every documentation is on point in terms of making sure that the university is registered. It's, you know, like everything is on point. That's when we can actually partner with them and put them on our platform. Because being someone that is in the consultancy, I understand I also have to look at on the student aspect, but I also have to look at on the university aspect, making sure that students go to universities that at the end of the day, they are not just going to have a clear pass, but they're going to have a clear brain at the end of the day and impact lives of people.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's do this. I own this university, right?
Okay.
And I come to you and approach you that I want to be on the app.
Okay.
So what do you need from me?
Number one, I need to see like the certifications for the university, the registrations and the like. There are some, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of India. In India, there's what we call the UGC and there's what we call NAC grading. So I have to also look at those things in terms of what is the grading of the institution, is it registered under the government, or such kind of documentation. Then personally, I also make a research on the university where I get to maybe see their socials, also such kind of stuff, and maybe get to visit the institution in person, so that I should also be confident to say the thing that I'm putting out there, it's something of value and it's going to help out a number of students.
Okay.
Yes. So we are not just looking for private institutions, but we're also looking at governmental institutions. Institutions like the University of Zambia. It's one of our targets in terms of putting them on the platform so that they have a simplified system.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm now a student.
Yes.
What guarantee do I have that as I do my application process, as I put out my data in the system there,
Yes.
what guarantee do I have that my data is safe, is secure?
Okay. So number one, we cannot release data minus following a certain procedure, because we believe that we believe in privacy. We can't just release data and the like.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we follow the procedure. So that means someone that wants to access that data, they have to pass through the police, so that we are having a proper way of releasing information to the public. But I would like to emphasize to say the data of people is safe with us. It's very much safe. So whenever the data is needed, there has to be a certain procedure that should be followed under law for us to be able to release data to people.
Let's now go to hotels.
Yes. Okay.
How beneficial is this to hotel owners?
Okay, so this is going to create visibility, like I said, visibility. Because if you look at a number of lodges, these hotels, they are not much known to say. Okay, so it's because of lack of visibility. So I believe for the application, it's going to bring visibility not only to local people, but also to international people. So for us, we are making sure that we market the app in such a manner that it's well known and well recognized worldwide. So I don't just look at this to be something only for Zambia only, but I want it to go on a global scale where it's able to simplify the lives of people. So lodges and hotels, they are going to have much visibility and they are going to increase in terms of their bookings. They are going to increase their clientele. Yeah. So they are not known because they are not visible, I can say. It's just on the marketing aspect. So for us, we want to make sure that we also utilize influence in throwing it out there. I believe we can promote our local.
Definitely.
Yes.
And then coming to the transportation sector.
Yeah.
How, what challenges have you faced in terms of bringing the people in the transportation sector on board?
Okay, I believe the mindset. Okay, the mindset, because most of them, they are not that much exposed when it comes to digital. They just want to do things manual. So I've visited a number of bus operators, of which some of them were still in the discussion like that.
Yeah.
I remember we once approached this bus operator. We went to that side, we met some few people there. But the time we just started presenting the same, they were just like, no, this can't work. So I feel like it's just exposure and the mindset that people still have. But I believe that with time, they are going to adjust with the same, because there are so many problems that they get to encounter, but they don't know to say technology can actually simplify everything.
You know, those guys that usually force us to enter certain buses.
Okay.
Those guys.
Yeah. Yes.
But we'll just give them, we'll call them travel assistants.
Okay.
Is this app taking the jobs away?
No, we are not getting any job for anyone. So for those, I already thought about it. So what we are doing is we're going to have referral codes.
Okay.
So for the referral codes, they are going to be using the same app. Okay, and then they are going to be having a certain percentage with them. So it's not like we're getting the entire jobs for people from them. But they are going to be utilizing the same app so that it's digital and convenient at the end of the day. Because it's very much inconveniencing where maybe they're just pulling you from here, there. You know? Yeah. But when they have their details registered with us on the app, they're just going to be using the referral codes in terms of be able to refer customers and the like.
Okay.
Yes.
And they'll be able to get something from you or from the bus operators?
They'll be getting from us.
Okay.
Yes.
How user-friendly is it? Can someone that doesn't have that technology knowledge, are they able to find a way to navigate
It's
the
very
app?
simple. It's very simple. That's why I normally say not one or two, but everyone, let's go, like the app name. So it's everyone, like it's very simple. Even when people download it, they'll be able to see that it's really, really simple to navigate.
Am I able to book a bus and also accommodation using your app right now?
Yes, you can do that.
You are sure?
Yes, very much sure.
Okay, so let's do this. You're going to show me and walk me through the whole process.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay. So the name of the app is Let's Go, right?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so which one of these is it?
This one, the first one. You can just see even the design, right? Yes.
Very different from
Yes.
Over 100 downloads, eh? That's very good progress.
Yes.
Away from me being able to apply to a university, book a room, and book a bus, which other features are you going to add on the app?
Okay, so for the bus ticketing system, we are also going to have taxi, where people should also be able to book for a taxi that will take them to the bus operators. So that means that they don't have to struggle with regards to finding a taxi that will take them to the buses that they want to use at the end of the day.
Especially for those that travel, let's say the bus is starting off at 04?
Yes. You find that the bus maybe is moving at 03, they already have all the tickets with them.
Okay.
And aside from that, we are also touching the healthy aspect, because you'd look at it that a number of people get to have difficulties. For example, someone is sick, it's at night. Okay, someone is sick. Okay, let's say it's 23 hours, or maybe let me just give it an example, it's 0102. and someone is very far, that side there are no clinics, there are no hospitals, then it's quite difficulty for someone like that to be able to get medical attention, medical treatment. So the app is going to have a feature where hospitals and clinics are going to come on board, where the patient can be able to communicate with the clinics and they'll be able to send an ambulance to them for emergencies. So that is going to reduce in terms of morbidity and mortality rates, as you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the
responding to
911.
emergencies. Yes. So that is going to help in terms of responding to emergencies, like I said. Someone is very far, there are no clinics. So what will be the solution now? So that means it will be easy to communicate direct, and then an ambulance is sent, and then that patient is actually taken for treatment.
How did you settle for the name Let's Go? Why Let's Go?
Okay, Let's Go, it's actually coming in terms of trying to encourage all people to move together, you see. Like I said, like I also mentioned, it's not about a single person. It's not about two people, but it's about everyone. So indirectly, this is also trying to change the mindsets of people, trying to encourage collaborations and also be able to encourage togetherness, I can say. So I remember I was on a bus, I was moving, and then, you know, I just had that vision where like someone is having a bag, is moving, but he's telling the friends to say, I can't go alone, let's go together. So that's why it comes in to say, let's go.
Let's go.
We are looking at bigger numbers. We're looking at impact that we want to make at the end of the day.
So I really want to understand this one part.
Okay.
You were struggling to find funds, right?
Yes.
Then you get a scholarship to go to school.
Yes.
You study that particular program.
Yes.
Then you come back in the country. And then, did you come back in the country with money?
No. No, not really. Not really. I think one thing that has helped me is God, wisdom, I can say. Like I told you, like if you have wisdom, you're able to identify problems and provide solutions alternatively. So I didn't have funds, like I didn't have a lot of money, because even the time I was starting the Handsen consultants, I didn't have any money, honestly. I didn't have even any capital, but I believed that the capital that I had, it was a mindset and the knowledge that I had. That's why me, like mostly when I'm even going through Facebook, I get to see people say, chase the bag, chase the bag. I don't believe in that. I believe the bag has to chase me, you know, because at the end of the day, people pay for solutions. They don't just pay for the product or just like that. So I believe when I have value, people will be able to bring in the money. So for me, I didn't start with money, but I started with knowledge and the mindset. Mindset of strategic relationships with people, coming on board, you know, trying to understand the market, trying to understand things in and out, just like that. Yeah.
Okay. So now you are this guy that hasn't done anything to do with programming.
Yes.
But yet here you are running this whole app.
Yes.
It's been built.
Yes.
How did you manage to convince the programmers that are working for you? How did you convince them?
I communicated value. I communicated with a clear vision. I communicated with setting out goals and everything. And me, myself, setting as an example. That's what attracted those people to work with me.
Okay, so
Yes. Yeah.
When that even drama, you didn't have money. You start this whole app, this company using wisdom, using the knowledge and the passion.
Yes.
Then you find these programmers to work for you.
Yes.
Did you pay the first workers? Did you pay them?
Definitely, yes.
How did you manage to pay them?
Of course, from the monies that I channel from different places, I've been able to push in there so that they also get motivated and work on the same idea. So,
what are some of the challenges that you faced while starting out?
It was on the funding part. Yeah, on the funding part, I think it was quite of a challenge, you know, because looking at it, building such kind of a system, it really requires a lot of money, and we still have a lot to do at the end of the day. And then finding the right skills. I think finding the right people. You know, it's very hard sometimes to find people that have got the right mindset with you, that can work with you and get dedicated. Others you'd find they start today, tomorrow they are tired. The other thing is on the response. Okay, on the response. For example, like you'd find that you present something and then people don't give you the time fully explain what you want to do,
Yeah.
you know, because it'll be just like, vinakanga, if you like this thing failed, like we tried some other things, it didn't work out, but it'll be like, I want to bring out something different in a different approach and a different way.
There are a lot of programmers in this country, but we're not seeing them do more. They're not coming up with many innovative ideas and creating things. What advice would you give to them? Because you are not even a programmer, but then you came up with this idea and then it has been actualized. What word of encouragement can you give to them?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say people shouldn't be scared of starting. I think that's where the problem is. Because we find that some of them maybe have got ideas, but they are scared to say, is this going to work, or is this going to work or not? So I feel we should remove that mindset to say it's not going to work. That fear, they just have to make sure that they start working on their ideas, because ideas is everything. If you can't be bold enough in terms of working on your idea, people can't believe in you. People can't even believe in them. So these programmers that we have in the country, they should start working on the bigger ideas that they have. Because every system, everything that is built in this world is built out of ideas. So that fear part of maybe trying to say, how is the market going to behave and the like, I feel like it has to be removed. And then the other thing is that they should invest so much in research and development, making so much research. Not just having a skill like that, because a skill is not enough. A skill has to be refined. It has to be sharpened at the end of the day. And how can it be sharpened? It can be sharpened with quality information. So they need to make sure that they gather data, they research, they have information that is going to guide them at the end of the day. Yeah, it's not just about having that skill at your home, but it's about what are the problems that they're able to see. And then the other thing is collaborating. I think my fellow Zambians should know how to collaborate, how to create relationships. It's not one just getting 100% like the entire, no. What's wrong with maybe me getting a 25%, someone gets a 5%, a 10%, it's okay. It's collaborating and bringing the skills together to make sure that we have something big at the end of the day. So imagine if we're having these programmers come together and just put all those skills together. It's going to sort out a number of problems. So number one, they should have a collaborative mindset. Then number two, they should also make sure that they invest in research. Number three, they should make sure that they remove that fear component in terms of starting, actualizing their ideas.
How about someone that already has this big idea? But then they don't have funds. You didn't have funds. So what advice can you give to this particular person?
They need to start from somewhere. Sometimes you don't have to start with the many things that you want to do. I can give you an example. Me, I started with the consultancy, but it doesn't mean that I want to limit myself to that. But because I knew to say I need to build up some funds that are going to help me in terms of working on my projects. Sometimes it's very hard for people to put in money. Well, it's you yourself, you haven't started. So you need to show them that you're confident this is going to work. So for someone that doesn't have funds, should make sure that they have funds in their head. They should have information. They should have data. They should be able to read, to study, to put quality information in their mind, and to just build that mindset of not being stationary, but just have a growth mindset. And then they shouldn't like feel shy, like, trying to get the voices from people, like, when you start with this small thing, shani. So they should start from somewhere. You start from somewhere, you save up funds, try to have something that is going to be channeled to your many idea. So like for me, like I said, the consultancy, channeling money to my bigger idea, to something that I want to do at the end of the day. So there's nothing wrong starting small. Yes.
Okay. Here is the bonus question.
Okay.
What is one thing you change about Zambia?
I think it's a mindset. The mindset here. That's one thing that I can change about Zambia.
Why?
Okay, we normally have a stationary mindset. We don't have a growth mindset. We feel so much like we have done so much when things are making noise in Zambia. But we should come up with a mindset which is global. It's not just looking at making impact in Zambia, but making impact outside there. That is the growth mindset. Just because I'm doing well in Zambia doesn't mean that I'm going to do well in a global scale.
Just because I'm a big university in Zambia doesn't mean that I'm a big university on an international scale. So I feel like for Zambia, we have much to do with regards to the mindsets of people. Not just also having a job-seeking mentality, but also having a job-creating mentality. Because I remember the time I came back to Zambia, I was looking at some universities here and there. Then I told my friends to say, why is it that we can't have a department of innovation and startups in universities? Because this is going to encourage students also work on their bigger ideas.
Yeah.
Because in university like that, people have got ideas, but they're sleeping on them. You see, it's because we cannot see clearly because of the mindsets that we are having. So for me, I think for us to be able to change things outside, we need to first change the mindsets, of which that's what I feel like we really will have to work on in Zambia, the mindsets of people. Sure.
These aren't just code projects. They are real life change makers. And right here in Zambia, Let's Go Up is proof that innovation doesn't need $1 million love. It just needs insight.